Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about link building, and link building is essentially just gaining backlinks. Backlinks are links from one website to another. The importance of backlinks are that high quality backlinks are crucial for improving your search rankings. However, backlinks from untrustworthy sources can harm your domain authority. The best practices for backlinks is to focus on acquiring backlinks from reputable, relevant websites. Basically, you don't want your website to get all of the backlinks from an online casino or some foreign spam website, right? Like somebody might sell you a high domain authority, but a website to link to, which is not good. That's against Google's terms of service. But they might sell you this link to this site, and it sounds really good. But if you don't know that having a site that it might have a high domain authority for whatever it is, but if it has absolutely zero relevance to your website, then it's not doing you any favors, and you just wasted a bunch of money and time and energy, and it's only giving you negative effects. So over here, here's some different ideas of link building. Obviously, you have your blog. People can link out to your blog. Videos are great for getting backlinks, because if you're giving an in-depth tutorial or if you're giving insight that nobody's really touched on yet, people can embed your videos into their website, and therefore that can kind of get shared. Contests are also a great way to get links. People have to sign up and try to win, and they have to do X, Y, and Z. So like that can link back to your website as well. I wouldn't do too many contests, like if you want to do one every quarter, that would be good. But trying to get links in some sort of spammy way isn't going to help your website for a long term. Link bait is awesome because you're writing content that is so good that even your competitors can't help but sharing a link back to you, because you have written the have all be all on that topic. And so when they're citing a source in their blog post, they're linking out to that because it is such great content that it just has to be shared. Infographics are great because not a lot of people take the time to come up with graphics that convey the points of blog posts, like a 7 steps or 5 tips, or just kind of lay out each step of the process for X, Y, and Z. And so if you take the time to create those images and you embed those images inside of your blog post, then when somebody uses those infographics, they're also in turn going to be sending that authority right back to your website. Sponsorships are great as well. Like if you are big into your local community and you sponsor, the baseball team or, the high school or something like that, they actually will link out to you from their own website. So not only are you doing good and you're supporting your local community, but in turn from this .org website, they are sharing an external link from their website to yours that helps boost up your authority in your local area. And then also guest posting. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but that's where you write a blog post for somebody else's page. You kind of use that as a networking opportunity to collaborate with other people, and you share your expertise for an entirely different audience. But in turn, with sharing that expertise with the audience, that person's website will then link back to you as an authority on that topic, and therefore that will help boost your authority in the long run. And there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of approach link building. The easiest way to do it, I would say, would be to reach out to people in your community. If you're in similar areas, like I say time and time again, just because in your mind you think that somebody is a competitor, 9 times out of 10 they aren't. You're focusing on 2 different things. So if you're the psychiatrist who is the authority on bipolar disorder, another psychiatrist who is the authority on alcohol addiction, you guys can collaborate and just talk about these 2 different things and share links back and forth to be able to kind of prove each other's points. But a lot of time as physicians, you may also be not competitors locally. you might have people that you went to college with or you did residency with, and you're all in completely different fields now. Well, you can still collaborate and come up with like a post that you guys can share your links back and forth with, because you are willing to work together to share that. And so, maybe one day you write a post for them, maybe one day they write a post for you, and you're still getting high quality content on both of your websites, but you are able to still help each other and build each other up at the same time. A way to kind of link build, if I was a hairstylist, is I would maybe reach out to the product company that I use and say, hey, I wrote this great blog on Olaplex for blonde hair. Would you mind posting this on your website and in turn sharing a backlink for me? And just kind of doing that. Or they may reach out and say, hey, we're not really looking for a topic on that right now, but maybe you could write something on this, and they would give you like another idea of something to write for them. And then that way you could make that collaboration work. Another way for, let's say, a cleaning company, right? You're somebody that cleans houses for a living. I would reach out to the carpet cleaning company and kind of see what kind of collaborations you could work out. And then maybe you guys kind of cross promote each other, guest posting on each other's site, but also maybe even plugging some of their products into some of your other blog posts, and they do the same for you. Like, that's a way that you can kind of collaborate in your local community doing that. Let's say, like, if I was a pressure washing company, one of the things, because I'm doing outside like maintenance, is I would essentially then in turn maybe reach out to a lawn guy in my town and kind of see what collaborations you could do there, because they're focusing on the lawn outside, but you're focusing on beautifying the concrete and kind of making sure everything else looks nice. So I'm sure there's some ways that you could work out a collaboration there. And I'm sorry if I'm like spewing on about all these different ways that you could like link build, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a blog post. You guys could collaborate and do videos together. You guys could do like a social media live, like Facebook Live, YouTube Live, kind of do something like that to just kind of introduce each other to each other's audience, and then kind of keep that collaboration going. And inside of that social post, you could link out to your website there and just kind of do those little back and forth kind of shares as well. There's a lot of different ways that you can think about link building, but I think instead of doing a cold email to a high domain authority website, I would kind of work with people in my local community first, or people that I know in the business that I can collaborate with, and build up my authority that way. And you could do a listicle blog post. Let's say you're a therapist and you could reach out to 7 to 10 different psychiatrists. It doesn't have to be in your local area. It could be all across the country if you want it to be. But you can say, like, I reached out to 10 different psychiatrists and they all have these tips about avoiding stress and anxiety, or just kind of anything like that. And then you have their quotes in there, and you link out to each one of the psychiatrists. And in turn, you can be like, hey, I created this post that has all of this information in it, please share it. And, they can give a social media share, or they can share it on their own blog post, and just kind of do different outreach opportunities that way. But, without going on and on and on about the different ways to get backlinks, I think the easiest way is to just, kind of reach out to your current network and then kind of go from there. Because you can do cold outreach, and it does work. There are different things to do it, but that would kind of come in a more advanced level. But the easiest way to get backlinks from the beginning would be, sponsorships, guest posts, creating link bait, and infographics, and of course videos. But if you're creating amazing content, the chances of you getting backlinks, as long as you're continuously putting the word out there about who you are and what you know, you will organically get backlinks, but it doesn't hurt to reach out to your network to have everybody share your information far and wide. So that way, when other people are writing about maybe not the same topic, but maybe your ideas support theirs, they'll share that backlink to your website as well. And up next, we're going to be talking about content marketing and different things that you can do and create to help kind of boost the ability of your website and your online reputation. So I'll see you in the next video.